I got 2 simple tips that's going to turn that slice into a nice high baby draw. Our audience, the experienced golfer, you're hitting this club 6, 8, 12 times around. You have got to be able to control and match this hybrid if you're going to play good golf. So let's dive right into it. We're talking about the slice. Now the first thing you got to understand is that in general, the longer the club gets and the less loft a club has, the more prone golfers are to slicing it. So we're going to talk about why that is, and I'm going to give you something to look for in your backswing, and I'm going to give you a forward swing tip also, so we can really tie all of this stuff here together. So first of all, when a club gets longer and there becomes less loft on it, what happens is, in a nutshell, is it makes it more difficult to square the club face. Think of swinging something that had a really, like a telephone pole or something that like a fishing rod, something that was really long, and the end of it was a long ways away from you. It requires more energy to rotate that mass, to rotate that toe close. All right, the shorter it is, the less effort it requires. So if I bring my hands in like this, it's very easy for me to rotate this. If I get this further away, I can still rotate it, but it requires more energy. Is it making sense? Okay, now, and that's, matter of fact, one of the things with the Max Vert here, I got my Max Vert 1, this thing is fantastic. We put a couple features in there. We put what we call the perimeter payload. That's where we put some weight on the outside because it helps us rotate the face. And we also did some stuff with the shaft where we shifted the shaft. We call it the shaft shift. I know Nick came up with that. Nick, give him a thumbs up. All right, give that guy, all right, okay, enough credit for that guy, right? He came up with that concept, remove that shaft a little bit, and that helps square the face. So the vertical line swing here, the Max Vert's got some of that built into it. But let's talk about what you could do yourself. All right, so first of all, the takeaway. When you're set in there, all right, we know this, that the club face is probably a little bit open at impact when we hit the slice. So when you take the club away, if you're slicing it, a lot of you are just simply rotating the toe open. And some of you are being taught that. You know, traditional coaching, sometimes they'll teach toe up. See, here's the toe up, the toe up. And I mean, it's not terrible, okay? But you know here at US Golf TV in the vertical line swing system at VLS Golf that we like the toe to be a little bit more what we call neutral at a 45-degree angle. So the first tip I want you to look for is when you take the club away from the golf ball, I want the toe, the leading edge here, to be more at a 45-degree angle. If it's more toe up at a 90-degree angle, it doesn't mean that you can't hit the ball straight, but it's going to require more rotation. So let's go ahead and hit a shot. Let's do a little 3-setter, and we'll talk about the tip on the forward swing. So here we go. So there's one. I like that. There's 2. Everybody see where the toe's at. Okay. There's 3. All right, here we go. And I'm going to replicate that. Oh, man. The thing just hops. It just pops off the face. All right, is that making sense? So here's what we've learned so far. The longer the club, the more is required to rotate the face, right? Okay, that's why longer clubs are more difficult. And on the takeaway, if you're struggling with that slice, make sure you get that club at a little bit more of a 45-degree angle. Now, let's talk about the forward swing. What are some things that we could do in the forward swing? So, I loved doing practice swings with my dominant hand or my trail hand. We do this a lot with chipping. And if you haven't already, hey, subscribe to our channel. We got a chipping video that has over 4 million views. It's crazy, 4 million views. And one of the concepts that we teach in chipping a lot is using the trail hand. It's a great way to feel rhythm and balance and stuff like that. So subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and tell us where you're from. We love hearing where you're from. But we can do the same thing with a longer club. So what I'm going to do, just make 3 swings, excuse me, with just my trail hand holding it, and I'm just going to let it bounce to the turf. See that? There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Now I want you to notice something. See how the club went through the turf there? This is important with the hybrid. A hybrid is more of a sweeping motion. Okay, it's not an iron where I'm hitting down. It's not a driver I'm hitting up. I'm going more through. So let me go ahead and hit a shot. Now I got that feel, and we're going to expand on that drill here. So here we go. 45 degrees going back. Man, I'm getting warmed up. This thing is popping off the face. All right. Now, when you're doing that swing with the right hand only there, the trail hand, dominant hand, okay, what I want you to feel is I want you to feel the face rotate a little bit. Okay, let's do it from down the line. Here we go. All right, what am I looking for on that side, do you think? I'm looking for that 45-degree angle if you're slicing it. If you're hooking, it'll be a little different, but see that? So I was 45 here, I'm 45 there. So here we go, we'll do a little three-setter. There's one, there's two, there's three. Okay, now I got the feel, here we go. 45 degrees going back, 45 degrees going through. Yep, all day long. So no reason you should be slicing this golf club. This club is well designed, it's easy to hit. These couple tips right here, we're gonna turn that slice into a nice high baby draw.